A few days ago, I texted a friend of mine to see how I could be praying for her. At the time, I didn't know why it popped into my head to text her this, but I did it anyway. I did it while thinking it was random and that I might not get a fast reply. But very quickly, I received a response back. My friend told me that mere minutes before the text, she had broken down into tears. She was feeling the weight of the world on her shoulders, and she just needed to let out the sadness and anxiety that had built up within her. She couldn't believe I'd reached out at that moment. I'm gonna be really honest. At first, I thought so highly of myself. I thought, wow, look at me go. I know my friend so well, and I'm glad I decided to do that. Not the most humble thought that I could have had. But I was humbled real quick when she sent another text a few minutes later. She told me that God must have really put her in my heart. She thanked God for giving me the thought to text her and check in. She was absolutely right. What I had brushed off as a random thought was so much more. It had nothing to do with me being a good person or having some kind of inkling. It had everything to do with God giving me a moment of clarity so my friend wasn't alone. This weekend, we talked about Samson's impressive strength. He did things that defied logic and made him famous. He knew that he was the strongest person alive, but he made the same mistake I did. He removed God from the picture. Samson forgot where his strength was coming from. It wasn't a worldly strength, it was a strength he could only get from God. Yet, he wanted to attribute that strength to himself. Samson couldn't see the difference between his own strength and God's strength. There are a lot of times in life, big or small, where we choose to remove God. We say things like, what a coincidence, or like me, you might think, how random. But is it really a coincidence or random? No, we just have to be open to hearing what God has to say. Don't brush off an act of kindness because it seems out of place or because you don't see why it would make a difference. Without God, we may never know that out-of-place action could mean to someone. It could change everything. So I thank God for putting on my heart to reach out to my friend. It's because of God I was able to be there for her, not because of me.